Tonight on KGW News.
This winter weather is really going to be deadly.
Cold sets in like Portland hasn't seen in decades.
I'm grateful that they're providing a shelter for people.
The efforts to get those without a home safely inside.
We will see a snowy Saturday. Some areas getting ice and wind and Arctic air adding to the trouble. I'll break down the timing.
Plus, a Portland City Commissioner's message to suspected arsonists.
If you think you can reach me by targeting my family and my household, you are dead wrong.
The damage left behind after someone set his family's car on fire. Thanks so much for joining us this Friday. I'm David Molko, and let's get right to the Arctic blast that's already hit the Rose City and beyond. 23 degrees in Portland right now, with wind chills in some spots already in the single digits, and that is before the ice and the snow make their way in. We have team coverage tonight, beginning with Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino and the timing of this winter wallop. So Matt, what's the latest here?
We've already got precipitation falling in parts of the Willamette Valley, mainly as just rain. But look at this. We're 22 at the airport. Downtown Portland, we're at 19 degrees right now. And yeah, that east wind has arrived, 25 miles an hour, sustained at the airport, stronger gusts already. And it's actually in the teens already across much of the eastern side of the metro area. Look at this at Pendleton. It's 3, 4 over in Baker City. And I want to show you these northeast Oregon temperatures real quickly. It's already below 0 in Joseph and -9 in Meacham in the northeast mountains. So it's the entire state nearly that is impacted by this. Check out the winds here. This is my wind forecast here for the wind gusts. Starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, Portland 47, Troutdale 52, Camas 55, Gresham 43 mile-an-hour gusts. And they continue in the 50 mile-an-hour range right on through the morning hours tomorrow, right on into the afternoon hours tomorrow. It's still gusting. That's a gust of 67 miles an hour at Camas, and the strong east winds will extend clear offshore. See this gust of nearly 40 miles an hour at the Oregon coast. So that's the strength of the east wind. Combine that with the cold temperatures and wind chill, -11 in Portland, not the Gorge, not Mount Hood, Portland at noon tomorrow, and we stay below 0 with the wind chill until Sunday morning. So that's a solid 12, 18 hours of below 0 wind chills. Now the precipitation, got a little bit of mixed precipitation moving into the North Valley right now. Just a little bit, but we have been getting some reports of some freezing rain down that way. So we'll keep tabs on that. This is just the leading edge of this developing storm. And you can see how this goes. It'll be about 12 degrees at 7 a.m. That's when the snow should begin in Portland. Notice this kind of pink color. That's sleet and or freezing rain. And that's become a little bit more of a concern for Portland, that we could see some sleet that would actually help to keep our snow totals down a little bit. But it's just the amount of snow. If you get the ice, it's just as bad, right? We're staying in the teens right on through that whole period. You look at the snowfall forecast here, it's actually ticked up a bit from what it was earlier to about 4 inches according to the model. So we'll let you know if we think that's going to be right in the middle or if that's a little high or a little low. And of course the ice totals as well, because that's going to be a big problem down the valley, along with the blizzard conditions in the gorge. Many of the freeways, I-5 south, bad idea tomorrow. I-84 east, also a bad idea. David?
Just brutal temperatures coming our way, and those wind chills. Wow. Thank you, Matt. Happening right now, while we have not heard of major issues on the roads locally, I-84 is now closed in eastern Oregon for multiple crashes. The interstate's closed from just east of La Grande to the Idaho border. Police expect that closure to last at least a few more hours. Ice and blowing snow have also been reported in that area. Well, our team coverage continues now with Catherine Cook live in Southwest Portland. Catherine, the temperatures we're seeing, they are downright dangerous. So is that forecast. What are the options for people trying to find somewhere warm to go?
David, tonight the county opened up 6 severe weather shelters, and they spent most of this past week fanning across the metro area, letting people know who live on those streets how to get to those shelters. We're talking 440 beds with the option of expanding to more space this coming weekend. It is so cold out here. It is critical to get inside. Health officials say it takes less than an hour for frostbite to set in. At Cook Plaza in Rockwood,
we're just here to help the neighbors and get this all set up for them.
They're making room for 80 people.
And when they come in, so they have a place to lay down and be out of the cold.
This is one of 6 severe weather shelters Multnomah County opened Friday as leaders declared a state of emergency ahead of severe cold and snow.
I want to be clear that no one will be turned away, and I very much encourage people to come in from the storm, come in from the bitter cold, get dry, and stay warm.
Beyond grateful.
Sherry and her dog are staying here. They usually sleep in her truck.
I was here when they had the warming shelter or the cooling shelter in the summer, and then I just found out about this tonight through their Facebook page, Cultivate Initiatives.
Nonprofit Cultivate Initiative is running this shelter. Most of the people they help live in East Multnomah County.
It weighs heavy, especially because these are people we know. It weighs heavy that if there's not safety, if there's not somebody who can say, hey, do you know about this warming shelter? It can be life-threatening or even at least life-changing because you can lose, the finger or the foot.
Last year, a friend of mine lost part of his feet, and that it's because of frostbite. And that, it gets cold out there.
Jerry Dudley works for Cultivate Initiatives.
I'm so grateful. I'm blessed,
He used to live on the streets. His heart is with those who still do.
It's important to be warm, man. You don't want to be cold out there.
Back live in Southwest Portland, I can tell you it feels like it is getting colder and windier by the minute. It is downright miserable and extremely dangerous out here. I want to let you know that to learn more about shelter locations and how to reach one of them, you can call 211. Also, we've posted an entire list of shelter locations across several counties on KGW.com. And finally, as is the case in any extreme weather condition, we're asking that you check on your neighbors to make sure they're okay, especially those who are already vulnerable. David, back to you.
Catherine, a really good reminder tonight. Stay safe, stay warm. Thank you so much. Well, while those living on the streets may be most at risk in the cold, everybody here needs to take extra precautions. We talked to an urgent care doctor about the types of conditions and injuries she sees the most in the snow and ice. There's the risk of muscle strains, which can come with activities we may not be used to, like shoveling snow. Those with heart problems could even be at risk of a heart attack. Then there are the broken bones from slips and falls, and often with people injuring their wrists or arms trying to catch themselves, understandable. And of course, frostbite and hypothermia, a concern for anyone spending an extended amount of time outdoors without the proper cold weather gear. Okay, when it comes to the roads, the message from transportation officials and first responders tonight: do not drive if you don't have to.
Know that sheltering in place and staying home is probably the safest thing for you and your family. Conditions change, and when surfaces get icy, people get hurt.
Well, we were in Salem earlier today, where the biggest hurdle may become the ice. City crews have several options ready to go depending on what type of weather materializes. Another concern, of course, power outages. Pacific Power told us they'll have extra line workers on standby in case high winds or ice knock out some lines. Meanwhile, urban forestry crews from Portland Parks and Rec are also getting ready for the possibility of fallen trees. They're going to be working with PBOT to clear any trees that come down on the roads. They also want to remind people to quickly report down limbs as soon as possible.
If you do see obstructions in the right of way, those are the things we want to address first to make sure emergency services can access people in need. So if you see something in the street, give us a call at 823-TREE. That'll get you through to dispatch, who will send out an ARPA to address the problem.
A reminder, if a downed tree lands on electrical wires, do not approach. Call your power company, or if it's an emergency, call 911. All right, let's not forget that temperatures in the teens mean some pipes might burst as well. We talked to a plumber today who recommends double checking where your valves are around your home, especially your main shutoffs, and then wrapping or covering pipes with foam to keep them insulated. Some trouble spots could be in the basement, the attic, the garage, under kitchen and bathroom cabinets. Another trick: let the water continuously drip from your faucets.
If water is moving inside of your pipes, it cannot freeze, or is very unlikely to freeze. So that is something you can do as a little trick, especially in the evening, when the temperatures are really starting to drop.
Also, do not skimp on heat. Keeping your walls warm actually helps keep the plumbing behind them from freezing up. Experts say any uptick in your electrical bill is a small price to pay for what would likely be an even more expensive cleanup. And stay with KGW for the latest on the snow, ice, rain, wind as we endure this Arctic blast. For the latest forecast, head to KGW.com. Find us streaming on KGW Plus or download the KGW app. Developing tonight, an arson investigation is now underway after Portland police say someone set fire to a car belonging to City Commissioner Renee Gonzalez, who's also running for mayor. Alma McCarty's in the newsroom with reaction from the commissioner. Alma?
Well, David, the commissioner said this behavior, should investigators determine it is in fact arson, cannot be tolerated. It's not the first time he's gone through this, but this time it's too close to home.
Under a tarp and surrounded by shattered glass, a 2024 Honda Accord belonging to Commissioner Renee Gonzalez's family, parked outside his Southeast Portland home.
A neighbor called my wife, could see that there was a fire in the vehicle.
Portland Fire and Rescue responded just after 1:30 Friday morning. No one was injured. Not only do investigators believe this was arson, they also say it's targeted.
We'll look at how to enhance security for my family, my neighbors, and for my staff.
KGW spoke with Commissioner Gonzalez Friday afternoon.
This is a democracy, and this is absolutely no way to air disagreement with elected officials' positions. I'm going to be unbending and protecting the city of Portland. If you think you can reach me by targeting my family or my household, you are dead wrong. And I am going to pursue you with every inch of power I have and assure justice comes to you.
Back in 2022, while running for commissioner, vandals shattered his campaign office windows a couple of times.
My home has previously been targeted for both protest and for vandalism.
Fellow City Commissioner Mingus Mapps called this suspected arson horrifying, writing, as elected officials, we should welcome debate and disagreement, but for someone to commit an act of political violence at Commissioner Gonzalez's home is beyond unacceptable. Multnomah County DA Mike Schmidt promising swift action should arson be the confirmed cause of the fire. Everybody is free to agree or disagree with me, the commissioner, or any public servant or political candidate. But threats, vandalism, arson, violence, or any other form of illegal coercion will not be tolerated, he wrote Friday afternoon. Gonzalez outlined his two goals immediately following this incident.
The first thing is that we got to make sure my family feels comfort and supported and secure as possible. Second is to make sure we bring justice to those who do this and to deter future behaviors like this.
As of tonight, Portland police haven't arrested anyone, nor have they identified a suspect or released a description. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact police or fire. David?
Thank you, Alma. You're watching KGW News, and straight ahead on this Friday night, the FAA puts Boeing and its MAX 9 jets under the microscope. And was the final stop on a brutal road trip any better for the Blazers? Orlando's here with a look at tonight's matchup against the Timberwolves. Plus, before we go to break, your ski report.